Assalamualaikum semua. This is the last part for this topic, which is we are going to cover the e-procurement methods or model. We have covered what is procurement, the problem with the traditional procurement, method of procurement, ada beberapa method, and then the definition of e-procurement. So for today, kita akan tengok what is the e-procurement model. So there are three basic architecture or models in e-procurement. Okay, so first is buyer-centric, seller-centric, and e-marketplace. So buyer-centric is where the buying organization implements software to support its procurement processes, obtain catalog data from its contracted suppliers, and aggregates the catalog data into a single internal catalog for the use of its purchasing officer. So concept in buyer-centric for e-procurement model, where the buyer or the organizations that need the barang-barang lah, it will have their own system, and then it will collect and aggregate, combine all the catalog from the suppliers, put in one system. Okay, so it will happen at the buyer side. Okay, the second type of e-procurement model is seller-centric model, where buyer use the supplier system accessible over the internet to browse the supplier's catalog and place order. Ini biasa berlaku seller-centric. Buyer-centric is a little bit expensive sebab buyer yang kena provide software untuk supplier guna, letak dia punya katalog, update dia punya katalog, itu konsep dia lah. And seller-centric is a simple concept, kita beli dekat orang jual lah, itu semua. And third model is e-marketplace, where a third party is the hub. Buying and selling organization trading with each other through the common marketplace. The marketplace hosts supplier catalogs and provides electronic transaction capabilities of varying sophistication to buyers and supplier. Konsep e-marketplace ialah there is a third party, okay, that will handle that provide a software, okay, the e-commerce, where a buyer and supplier can meet together at the e-marketplace. Okay, so contoh banyak sekarang. Antara contoh yang senang ialah Alibaba. Okay, itu Alibaba memang khas for business to business, not for business to consumer. So this is the summarization of e-procurement model into a graphic and visualization of e-procurement model. So first kita tengok a sales side. Okay, this is the sales side. Okay, this is a supplier. The darker one is a supplier and the lighter one is a customer. So sales side, we can consider it as a one-to-many relationship where one supplier will communicate and interact with many buyers, okay, at the supplier website. Okay, the second here is a buy side or buyer side. It's many-to-one relationship. Many-to-one, many is a supplier, and then the supplier will interact or trade via buyer website. Okay, and then lastly is e-marketplace or neutral exchanges. Okay, we call it as e-marketplaces nowadays. It's a many-to-many. It's trade via intermediary website. Okay, many-to-many. So here is the advantages and disadvantages of each of the e-procurement model. Okay, the sales side, of course, the advantages is searching, easier to search, honest of maintaining data on supplier. Tak perlu lagi, buyers do not need to maintain the data and to update the catalog of the supplier and so on. Supplier will do that. However, the disadvantage is different interface on each side. Okay, so different seller will have their own different interfaces and website. Restricted choice. Okay, kenapa restricted? It's depend on what that seller jual je lah. Tak boleh lah nak cari, contoh saya nak beli kerusi office, saya nak beli non-production material, saya nak beli kerusi office. So kalau guna self site, okay, each site will provide apa yang company tu jual sahajalah. Saya nak compare tak boleh, I have to check in a different website from a different supplier. And then poor integration with ERP, tak boleh nak integrate dengan enterprise resource planning system or procurement system, tak boleh nak integrate dengan our system because that's their system. And limited purchase control. Okay, that's the problem lah. Okay, buy side. Okay, buy side concept ialah private exchange where the buyer will provide a system, okay, for a supplier to update their catalog, and the buyer can choose the product that they want through the website. Simplicity, simple, because you have your own website, and the single interface. Why single interface? Semua website daripada beberapa supplier, you just have to log into a one system, a single system. Wider choice, okay, you can, because you collect all the catalog from other supplier. Integration with ERP, it's allow you to integrate with ERP. Yang ni yang macam Exxon buat, kalau yang dah baca pasal Simon, okay. And then good purchase control, so you can control the purchase, okay, based on your inventory. Bila ERP ada alert you there is a lacking in the inventory, so it will alert you, and then I will send a sign to the system which product, okay. So the official yang involved dengan purchasing akan tahu nak pilih produk mana, and many more. However, disadvantage is we have to maintain the data on buyer, the license cost, the software cost, and you have to train your purchasing officer to use the system. Okay, the lastly is independent marketplaces. E-marketplaces. What is the advantages? Is of course the first, simplicity, a single interface between buyer and seller. So tak perlu nak tengok banyak sistem. Okay, potentially widest choice of supplier, products and prices. Macam awak guna Shopee sekarang lah, tapi Shopee itu untuk business to consumer, B2C, and then consumer to consumer also. Shopee pun ada consumer to consumer, tapi Shopee not really consumer to consumer. Kalau nak tengok betul-betul consumer to consumer, macam mudah memang ada yang bahagian yang consumer to consumer. Okay, so kalau kita tengok konsep marketplaces, we can have we will have a lot of choices. A single product, we will have several choices, so we have a wider choice to choose, and there are often unified terms and condition. And biasanya dekat kawan Shopee ni, awak deal lah dengan, contoh Shopee lah konsep Shopee, satu contoh Alibaba ke, you deal dengan many supplier, tapi the terms and condition is provided by the intermediaries, okay, which is the Alibaba ke Shopee and so on. However, it's difficult to know which marketplace to choose. Poor purchase control. Yes, you do not know who is your. Kenapa poor purchase control? Sebab kita tak tahu siapa supplier kita. Okay. And then uncertainty on service level from an order form and unfamiliar suppliers. Interfacing with marketplace data format, and relatively poor integration with ERP, enterprise resource person. Integrate lah orang punya sistem. Okay, class. So component of e-procurement. So what should we have when we talk about e-procurement? Apa yang sepatutnya ada? Okay, apa yang sepatutnya ada? First is of course the content management, which is includes managing data. Mesti ada function untuk manage the content, which is ada untuk manage data. Okay, originates from many different suppliers involved in e-procurement processes and availability. Data must be up to date, standardized and integrate. Mesti ada the function in the e-procurement, mesti ada content management. You can manage the data. Okay, data daripada supplier. And then requisition management. Content management maksud apa? Bila stok masuk, okay, bila beli barang, okay, daripada supplier, the detail, the item, the prices, who is the supplier who dapat barang. So mesti ada function untuk you masukkan data tersebut. Setakat masuk, edit, update. Okay. And the requisition management, enabling end user to place and transact orders. Mesti ada proses untuk place and proceed with the orders with the supplier. Transaction management transfers the order to the relevant supplier using open standard, sama ada XML ataupun enterprise data interchange. Requisition management here means, kenapa dia kena ada requisition management? Biasanya ada satu organisation, contoh macam UiTM ataupun dalam satu kilang, satu business. Okay, you will have numbers of department, and each of the department ni akan ada a different needs of the suppliers, the supply. Mungkin production supply ataupun materials, okay, material that involved in production or non-production materials. Okay, so each of the department usually has their own person in charge to look after the supply, the inventory. So bila ada kurang, this person will need to request for order. Dia akan request untuk order. Okay, dia akan request untuk the increase ataupun the purchase for the barang yang tak cukup tadi. So, and then there must be this person, the e-procurement must has a function where each of the person in charge in the department will be able to place and transact the orders. Maksudnya kena tahu dia boleh tengok apa barang, who is the supplier to request for the order and so on. And then lepas dah this person request, and then mesti ada transaction management where we can proceed and transfer the order to the relevant supplier. Okay, and then mesti ada connectivity management. Ensures coupling with the supply system and company's own internal financial and logistics system ERP. So the system must be able to communicate with the supplier system. Nak hantar order kan, kena hantar ke supply system. And then macam mana nak bayar? So mesti connect dengan financial, the accounting itself. And then also the logistics system. Okay, kalau dia pakai logistik sendirilah. Okay, this is the summary of a procurement method. We have by example of each of the procurement method or models. So by side we have tendering, we have reverse auction, we have internal aggregation. Tendering concept is where kita tender konsep macam ni. Bila satu benda kita nak beli, satu organisasi nak beli barang, tendering ni dia akan buka, okay, dia akan iklankan. Okay, saya nak beli barang, contoh saya nak beli 100 biji komputer. Okay, saya ada satu bisnes, saya nak beli 1 biji komputer. So I will open the tender, siapa yang nak, okay, boleh the supplier that wants to that wants to have this tender, nak supply barang kat saya, so dia akan apply. So I will choose from which from the tender yang ada lah, sebelum siapa yang ada. Reverse auction kita akan tengok lagi. Internet aggregation ni mesti cerita tadi lah. Dia akan collect all the catalog from the supplier, put at the buyer website. And then we have buyer at seller side, ada seller catalog, ada auction, ada negotiation. Okay, and then buyer at exchange or third party, ada auction, negotiation, bartering and catalogs. So auction kat sini, what is the difference between auction, reverse auction, auction and auction at the buy at seller side, auction at the third party. Reverse auction, kita ada nak jual barang, kita ada nak beli barang. Kita kata saya nak beli 100 biji komputer dengan harga 2 million contohnya. Okay. So apa yang berlaku dekat reverse auction, seller yang berminat dia akan start bid for the prices. So biasanya dalam reverse auction, the price will go down. Okay, so the cheapest price itu yang kita akan ambil. Dekat seller side, saya ada auction dekat seller side, saya ada barang nak jual. Okay,
So saya pun buka bidding. Saya ada 5 biji kereta. 5 biji kereta persona untuk dijual. So saya pun letak harga. Saya buka harga. So the buyer will bid the price. So the highest price will win. Okay. Apa beza? Yang dekat by exchange or third party ni, auction yang berlaku dekat third party ni ialah di mana dia third party ni hanya akan jadi orang tengah. Saya ada barang nak jual, saya ada barang nak jual. So saya bagi dekat third party. So I have this price. Okay, so saya kata I have this product. I want to sell it in auction. Okay, the minimum price would be, ini harga minimum price. So third party ni akan handle the auction process. Okay, and others kat sini adalah group purchasing.
So basic types of B2B transaction. So we have yang ni kita dah tengok tadi, exchanges adalah main e-marketplace lah actually. It has a lot of names. E-marketplace biasa orang guna untuk business to consumer. Kalau tengok kat sini, ini types of B2B e-commerce. Ada seller. This is similar with previous diagram. It shows the relationship between the seller and buyer. Okay, ada many to many, ada one to many. And then this is the electronic exchange or e-marketplace which have ada intermediaries. Okay, these are intermediaries, or maybe you have services here, sellers here, and also buyers. Okay, the person who provide a service, the person who provide a product, and the buyers itself. So it collect, diletak semua parties yang terlibat dekat satu places sahaja. And then ini adalah supply chain improvement and collaborative e-commerce, where bila B2B ni dia konsep bila you combine all the processes here, including the government, community and so on. Okay, dia jadi hub manager.
Okay, so first kita akan tengok on reverse auction. So buyers open an electronic market on its own server and invites potential suppliers to bid on the items the buyer needs. So the invitation is in a form of or document called request for quote. So buyers yang ni kita akan tengok next. Kita akan tengok what is the process. So these are the process. There are 2 steps. Okay. The first is posting bid invitation and second is the evaluation of the bids. So contract and purchasing department will send the requirement. Okay, and then it will send the bid invitation posted on enterprise web, okay, through email, and then usually the invitation is restricted, and then it will send through email, okay, and the bidders will do the bid, and then in the evaluation of bids, the process evaluation step, the bidders akan hantar email lah. So contract and purchasing department will do the evaluation process. So usually in auction, in reverse auction, the cheapest price will be chose as a winner. Okay, however, in this B2B process, usually there are many many other factors that will be used to select for the winner. Okay, so the evaluator will send the rejection or acceptance email to the suppliers. So the supplier who offer the best condition will win the bid lah. Okay. So other procurement method including internal purchasing marketplace, which is either aggregating suppliers catalog, desktop purchasing, buyer at sellers e-auction, group purchasing, buying at seller site and collaborative e-commerce, and acquisition via electronic bartering. Okay. Okay, yang lain semua ni akan didiscuss later, kecuali yang collaborative commerce. Collaborative commerce ni macam mana sebenarnya? Okay, buyer collaborative commerce ni kadang-kadang we have a joint venture. Contoh macam ni, saya ada kilang kereta, let's say I have a kilang kereta. Kereta saya nama kereta ABC. Okay. So nowadays selalu macam kilang kereta macam tu, dia orang tak provide, dia tak manufacture everything. Satu kereta dia ada banyak komponen. So nowadays kita tak manufacture every single components inside the car. So what we do is we do a collaboration. Contoh kereta dia kena ada tayar. So I'll do the collaboration with contoh Hankook ke Michelin ke. So and then okay, saya bagi tahu kat dia, okay, we are designing this type of car. Okay, the tayar dia what you will provide. So dia akan provide lah, okay, the design. And then mungkin saya nak design for dia punya seat. Okay, saya nak design a seat that have a very ergonomic seat. Okay, kalau duduk lama tak sakit pinggang. So I asked the provider atau supplier to do a design for us. So bila kita nak keluarkan produk, okay, this company ni dia provide design and dia akan supply untuk the production of the car. Itu masuk collaborative commerce. So maknanya kita joint venture dari segi design and also dari segi bila supply dia akan also do the supplying process lah. Okay. So there are other methods yang ada ialah aggregating supplier catalogs, aggregate the catalogs of all approved suppliers, combining them into a single internal electronic catalog. Ini yang dekat by side. Kita kumpul semua yang mana yang dah approve, so then kita combine dalam satu sistem. Kenapa nak buat macam tu? Satu, ada dua sebab dia bagi kat sini. Satu, to avoid maverick buying. We have defined maverick buying previously. And by aggregating the supplier catalog on the buyer server, it is easier to centralize and control all procurement. And then kita akan boleh control who are the suppliers. Okay, so we have biasanya suppliers yang kita akan simpan catalog ni, supplier yang dah kita dah pernah deal. And we know them. Okay. And then desktop purchasing, direct purchasing from internal marketplaces without the approval of supervisors and without the intervention of a procurement department. Desktop purchasing ni maksudnya biasanya kalau dalam kerajaan barang-barang yang kurang daripada 10,000. So maksudnya kita saya nak benda, contohnya kita dalam office katakan. So apa yang perlu, toner printer perlu. So saya tak perlu melalui procurement department. So kadang-kadang dia ada certain company provide P card, which is payment card or purchasing card. Maksudnya kita nak beli, dia memang dah ada dia punya budget sendiri lah. So ada payment card lah, so you can use this. Itulah, okay. Itu desktop purchasing. Maksud desktop purchasing bukan beli ikut desktop, bukan beli dengan desktop, bukan. It is a direct purchasing. Okay, it is direct purchasing from internal marketplaces without the approval of supervisors and without the intervention of the procurement department. The others e-procurement buyers at sellers e-auction. Okay, yang sellers are increasingly motivated to sell surpluses and even regular product via auctions. Manufacturer conduct auction, for example Dell, and then third-party auctioneers, contohnya eBay. Okay, auction aggregators help purchasers find where and when actions of needed item are being conducted. Okay, ini contoh-contoh auction yang berlaku lah. Okay, apa lagi? Ada group purchasing. Okay, group purchasing ni apa? Group purchasing is the aggregation of orders from several buyers into volume purchases so that better prices can be negotiated. Okay. Dan ini kita kumpulkan semua order, kita kumpulkan, kita beli secara pukal. Itu konsep dia lah. Ini contoh group purchasing. Okay, yang provide group purchasing concept. So the group purchasing process, small business sign up for free service. The SME specify what is need of his supply. The buyer name the price they are willing to pay. And then the aggregators group all requests by category and price. And then for each item, the aggregator either negotiation with supplier or uses e-reverse auction, hoping to meet the bid requested price. In addition, the supplier pay a negotiated commission to the aggregator. So if you look here, apa yang beza antara purchasing biasa? Okay, dia akan ada orang yang kumpulkan, okay, daripada small business, beberapa small business is what they need. Okay, so dia akan, this aggregator will do the group purchasing. So buying at seller side usually through e-distributor lah, siapa-siapa yang jual website biasa. Okay. Acquisition via electronic barter, ini konsep bartering, exchange of goods or services without the use of money. Exchange a surplus for other needs. For barter exchange, an intermediary that links parties in a barter. A company submit its surplus to exchange and receives point of credit which can be used to buy the item that the company needs from other exchange participant. So ini contoh yang ada bartering auction. Konsep dia ialah dia ada orang tengah. Bartering exchange ni adalah bartering e-marketplace. So ada dua cara sama. Ada directly, the exchange, the bartering proceed with directly dengan sama buyer and seller, ataupun dia boleh guna a third party, which is we call the exchange or e-marketplace. So dalam e-marketplace konsep, kalau yang direct bartering konsep sama je lah, macam awak tukar barang. Tapi macam mana pula dalam exchange? Okay, dalam exchange biasanya orang tengah, okay, dia akan link parties in a barter. A company submits its surplus, apa yang dia nak tukar. Okay, then dia akan receive point of credit which can be used to buy the item that the company needs from other exchange participant. Okay. Electronic exchange adalah electronic marketplace, adalah B2B electronic marketplace. Electronic trading community, meeting places for many sellers and many buyers and possibly for other business partners. So at the center of every exchange is a market maker, the third party that operates the exchange, and in some cases may also own it. Okay, can be vertical or horizontal. So ini contoh options, the community of an exchange, flow and access to the information. So the exchange ni biasanya it will involve a lot of parties lah, siapa-siapa sahaja, marketplace. It can be the dealer, it can be the customer, it can be the retailers, okay, it can be government, professional association and many more. Okay, contoh company yang provide exchange. Okay, ini contoh lagi. Okay, so another concept yang ada ialah dynamic pricing. Apa dia dynamic pricing? Okay, dynamic pricing ni kalau ikut definition ialah dia kata the market makers match supply and demand in their exchanges, this matching determine the price. Dynamic prices ni kita tengok kita letak harga based on the demand. Okay, is dynamic pricing, the definition is the rapid movement of prices over time and possibly across customers. So kadang-kadang exchanges facilitate the relationship between business and partners. So bila you pakai exchange, apa kelebihan? Okay, apa kelebihan kita pakai exchange? We can get the dynamic pricing. Okay, dynamic pricing, madam, untunglah seller, tak semestinya untung seller. Dynamic pricing ni ialah pricing yang it's a dynamic, it's not static, and it can it may change based on who you are dealing with. So kalau dia dapat the best price, dua-dua akan dapat win-win situation. Bukan seller sahaja untung, buyer pun boleh untung. Okay. Konsep dalam dynamic pricing ni is a strategy, sebenarnya marketing strategy. Kalau tengok Shopee sebenarnya buat dynamic pricing ni, harga yang penjual jual tu dia ada sebenarnya pusing-pusing harga dia lebih kurang je bila dia ada sale and so on. Okay, that's a dynamic pricing lah. Okay. So this is a potential gain and risk of B2B exchange. Ada banyak lah risk and gain lah. Ada ni, but of course kalau potential gain dekat dua-dua pun dapat. Okay, ada one stop, banyaklah benda berbayar dekat sini, and ada risk dia sendiri. Of course semua benda ada risk and ni. Okay, so that's all for this topic. Okay, if you do have any question, please do not hesitate to ask. Okay, class. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.